I got into a very super interesting conversation recently about judgment. Oh, let's dig into it. Hey, if you're new around here, my name is Steve Harper. I turn ordinary connections into extraordinary relationships. How do I do that? Great question. How do I do that? Seriously, I help individuals and organizations identify, develop, and grow the key relationships they depend on for their success. What does that require? It requires a deep dive and understanding into how you make connections and how you turn them into relationships. I'm not going to say I'm a master at it, but I'm pretty darn good. If you're interested in improving your business network, your personal network, or you're a company that feels like it's disconnected within its employees and team's just not gelling, or you're not really clicking with those prospects or those customers, give me a call. So, judgment. Ooh. Dun, 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 dun. I've got this honest court to order. That's right, I'm here to judge you. Got into this very super interesting conversation with someone that had reached out to me about why things weren't working, why they just weren't actually just clicking when it came to the events that they were going to. They're fairly new on the job. Networking is a big part of their role and responsibility, and they're beginning to feel the heat. Cue that Glenn Fry song, The Heat is On. The heat is on. That'd be good. My editor hates probably me doing these videos because I go here, there, everywhere. Anyway, so networking is a big part of their job. And I said, well, what do you think is happening? And this individual said, hey, look, I show up. I'm trying to do what you profess, which is not lead with my work and lead with my profession, my product, my service. Try to connect as an individual. And I said, well, let me ask you a question. How judgy are you? He looked at me like, what? Judgment. I mean, how often do you show judgment? He goes, I never show judgment. I said, so you never ask questions about, I wrote these down. Where did you go to college? What neighborhood or city did you live in? What part of the city do you live in? What do you do? That's the old question, right? All these questions imply that A, I'm going to ask it, and B, your answer is gonna do what? I'm about to judge you. The reality is that these questions don't lead to conversation opportunities. They just don't quite hit the nail on the head. They are, whether they're intended to be or not, judgment questions. And when someone feels judged by you, they will do one of two things. They will retreat and run for the hills, or they will try to ego stack, which is, let me make myself bigger and more impressive than I really am. And they will not give you the best version of themselves because they are trying to find their way to validate themselves to be in conversation with you. Now, probably not in a networking situation as often, but I see a whole bunch of DICK measuring in these networking events because it is all about ego. And ego is about putting on pomp and circumstance, and oftentimes people feel compelled to do that because they feel like they are being constantly judged. And let's be honest, the world is judging us, and the world is always looking for some little thread of something, right? And so what I cultured or coached this guy to do is stop asking judgmental questions. You got to have a different way to engage. You have to have a different approach, because if people feel judged by you, it is pretty much curtains for any future possibility. And I know that we fall into these traps like, so what do you do? Because that is how we've been cultured to network. But that's not the way to go. Like, what excited you about being at this event tonight? Have you been here before? What have you learned at these shindigs? What's the best thing to ever come out of one of these things for you? These give people a real softball way to enter into the domain of conversation. It's not the Thunderdome, right? It's not like, Mad Max, man. All right, let's find out. Here we go. No. It's It's like, hey, welcome in, you know, come in. The water's fine, it's very comfortable. We're just sitting here, drinking our martinis or our pina coladas and chilling, waiting for cool people like yourself to swim on over, right? Ripple is about that, right? It's about really helping find an avenue and an opportunity to engage people differently. And when you do that, they won't feel judged. When they don't feel judged, they're more inclined to have a conversation with you. When they're more inclined to have a conversation with you, they are more inclined to recognize a good connection when they see one. And that is the opportunity to spring forward into the possibility of a professional or personal relationship. That is what is important. But if you walk in dun, 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 as a judge about what is up, what is going on, why should I be talking to you? Even though this guy was not like that in any way, shape, or form. So that part of my story just died. But the reality is you don't come across as a person that anybody wants to talk to, especially me, because I hate judgmental conversations. I hate being asked questions that even sniff the possibility that you're going to judge me, because I don't like it. I don't care for it. And it doesn't ever make me want to be present with that person or even try. And so be cognizant. I don't know if this particular individual's question or challenge could really benefit you, but I bet you $1 to donuts. Who came up with that phrase, by the way? $1 to donuts. I have yet to find a donut's $1. And they say donuts, like you should get more than one donut. Anyway, it might help you. And here's the way that I would ask you to look at this. If it causes you to ask yourself how many conversations I've been in the last month, 2 months, 3 months, a quarter, that's a whole quarter. It's still not $1 for the donuts. How many times have you asked questions that actually made somebody feel judged? You're gonna probably be like, oh, you do. That's not good. Yeah, it's not good. Fix it. Fix it now. Don't be that person. And if you happen to be around one of those people, be like, hey, there's Judge Judy. I gotta go. Bye-bye. Ripple on.